Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from Nathan Benderson Park right here at the beautiful tower that we're getting ready to climb the stairs. Yes, it's late. Yes, I am squinting. Yes, we're driving this little car. Yes, it's another great day in Sarasota. And I'm telling you, folks, this morning I wanted to make morning chat. I'm trying to be quiet, but so I made some coffee. I do want to make my morning chats in the RV. A lot of times I don't need to. I can come out here and walk and talk to you guys. But I had a lot on my mind I wanted to say, but I just couldn't get around to it. So here we are. And before we take a walk and get our exercise up here on the tower, we drove over here in Tammy's car, and I left. Every time, when you get all these cars, and you get sunglasses in one car, hats in another car, and all this stuff, and then you keep adding more cars to the fleet, you don't know where anything is. Between having things in the camper and all the different cars, we just ran out. We had to go get a Zing and a biscuit. And so here I am with no sunblock, no hat, and no sunglasses. And it's August 31st. Finally, August is going to be out of here. But the rain is still in the forecast, like high chances. But fortunately, we've been very blessed during the day. But at the evening time, every day, I mean, it's just incredible how much rain we're getting here in South Florida. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, I bought a car. Why? Well, let me see if I can answer it. I don't know. We'll try it like this. Whatever goes, goes. Years ago, I sold cars. And I used to sell Hondas, in fact. I sold everything under the sun, new and used. I was in management, I was in finance, but mostly I was a salesman because there's an old saying in the car business: never make a good salesman a manager. Put them on the floor, because that's where the gravy is. That's where they make the money. The people that can put the units, push the units over the curb, out the door. So most of the places that have managers, while they may be pretty good salesmen and closers and assist in putting the deal together with the salesman, of which quite a few of them do these days, they're more closers than they are managers. But the ones that actually run the day-to-day business of managing the salespeople and teaching the salespeople and working the numbers and all, they're generally, that's just their forte. But the people that have the really good people skills, communication skills, that are likable, and maybe they're aspiring to become in management. But anyway, in my career, I tried management, and I always felt more comfortable right out there on the floor in the trenches. So I said all that to say this. I used to sell cars, and a lot of you know, for about 17 years. And I didn't do good everywhere I was at, but I did pretty well. And it was a real, you talk about a prison job. There's a prison job, buddy. I'm gonna tell you right now. So let's walk and talk a little bit here. The car business is known for bell to bell. That means you come in the morning when it opens, and you stay there until it closes. That's just the way it goes. It's a no-life business. There's no pension, there's no 401s, there's very little health insurance, because most guys don't stay somewhere long enough for it to really count before they're somewhere else. It's a very different kind of world, the car business. Now, management today, it is different. They used to flip their chairs and their hats often too, but now I think management, they try to keep them. In fact, they even do no-compete contracts with certain management today, like in GM, where they can't go anywhere else and work and be a direct competition because of their skill level of running a business, making profits, or sharing secrets of the other company. So things have changed. When I was in the business in the 70s and 80s, it was a completely different car business. But yet some things have never changed, like the people skills. And you know, the negotiating and all that like they still do at the car dealers. So why did I buy that car? I said all that to say this. You said that already, Baker. Well, isn't this beautiful out here? Nathan Benderson Park. One guy or gal wrote in the comments the other day that I remember when he was at Peggy Sue's and he spotted a white Honda Accord. He said, look at that white Honda Accord. I've always liked Honda Accords. When I sold the Honda Accords, I had a demo. Back in my day, they gave you cars to drive. They don't do that anymore. They haven't done that for years. And I loved the way that Honda drove. I've always liked Hondas. I had a Camry that I leased in I got the hiccups, 19. Well, I liked it. It was nothing like the double wishbone suspension and the feel of a Honda Accord. Remember the Honda Prelude? And when I was selling them, man, those were nice cars. And there was a waiting list for some of them. There was hardly any discounts to speak of. And a very educated consumer bought them too. It was people that read consumer reports. You know, the Honda Accord has been selling for 50 years. And it's been in Motor Trend, Car and Driver, Consumer Reports as the best, one of the best, if not the best sedan you can buy for years and years and years. So it's not a car that is a mistake to buy. So when they came out with a new generation, I spotted one. I didn't even know they made those in 23. I didn't see too many of them. It wasn't until a few months ago I saw that new generation, the 11th generation. I said, look at that. What is that? It looks longer. They made the Accord bigger. And while it's getting a lot of criticism on its looks because it doesn't have like the Camry or some of these cars that have this really, I don't know, they go for this arrow, this sharp lines, and it's more of a very conservative, a grown-up model now. A lot of young people probably won't like it, but it is a car that is absolutely grown on me, and I'm a grown-up, and I think it grows on a lot of people. Some of the base models do look sort of plain Jane, and they're just, you know, like some people say the front end looks like a Ford Taurus. But when you do get the high trim level like I bought, the Touring Hybrid, and I'll be giving you these videos, believe me, when I get the car, but the car is getting the windows tinted on it right now, and I haven't even picked it up. But I've watched everything on YouTube there is about that car, good, bad, and different, and it is something I'm very excited about. So why did I buy it? Here we go again with that. Because I'm tired of 8 to 11 miles per gallon. That's what I've been experiencing and paying out of my pocket for months now since I've had the Tundra. And for a couple of years or more, however long I had that 4Runner, I've had two thirsty vehicles for a few years now, since 21. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. That 38-gallon tank, which is amazing on that Tundra. Everything about the Tundra is amazing except the gas mileage. It has that long range because when you get crappy gas mileage and you tow, at least you can go further. You don't have to worry about passing a gas station and running out of gas between, you know, Bakersfield and somewhere else. So it's got a lot going for it. But the Tundra, the 4Runner, the Toyota Tacoma with the 6-cylinder in it, these vehicles only get an average of 15 miles per gallon. The Tundra doesn't even get that. And so that's what the 4Runner was getting. I had the big heavy tires on it. It was 4-wheel drive. I did have a Tacoma years ago. You guys probably never saw that one. And I just want gas mileage. This fuel cost is killing me. And we drove this little Honda Civic that T's got to Orlando to go to Disney, which we ended up doing something else, went to Gatorland. And it got 38 miles per gallon. It was like a free trip. I mean, it's like free when you get 40 miles per gallon. And it only holds like 12 gallons of gas. That's all that Accord holds too, because of the battery that's in the back. It's a hybrid. It doesn't have a huge fuel cell. But because of the 44 miles per gallon, 41 on the highway, it's got a 500-mile range. and it only costs you, you're never going to fill it up when it's empty. You might only put 10 gallons in at the most if you let it get down that low. I usually fill up when I'm about half tank. That's $30 for 10 gallons of gas. It'll be like $15 to fill it up. I spent on the Tundra at BJ's Wholesale, saving 15 cents off a gallon with my new credit card I got, $80, $90 to fill up that beast. And then when you ride around town, it just guzzles it down. I mean, I love driving it. I love my Tundra. I'm not getting rid of my Tundra. The Crusher goes with the Crasher. How can you possibly, if you have an RV and you live in one, how are you going to get rid of your tow vehicle? You can't do that. So some of you were asking what happened to it. Like, I got to keep that, you know. But it's good to have a truck. You know, we get us an apartment or a little house or something down the road. You know, I'm picking up a barbecue grill today at Walmart. I got a truck. I don't need no SUV. I can throw it in the back and bring it home. And so it's nice to know I have a truck and I have a very reliable car to drive that's free. I can go from point A to point B. Yes, I call it free, like my free check, which I got today because it was a holiday. I got paid, baby. I'm rich. So I started looking into the Honda, and we drove hers down to Disney. We didn't go, like I said, but I drove it, and I'm like, man, this car is just so tight. But yet that seat killed my butt. It wasn't very comfortable for that trip. It is not a road trip car. Definitely not. But we're driving it right now. We went and got a Zing, and we're running around, and I must have said it 10 times this morning. She probably got tired of me saying it. I love this car. There's something about the steering wheels they're putting on these Hondas, this leather wrap, and the tightness, the quality of a Honda. And I don't mean to brag, folks, I'm sorry, but to have all Japanese vehicles in my possession, hers, mine, the Toyota, the Tundra, you know, it feels so good to know that I know that the reliability and the maintenance is like high reliability, almost zero maintenance. And now the Tundra, I really like it because she can just sit until she's needed. And once I get that Accord and we've got the two Hondas, then we don't have to sweat taking road trips and doing whatever. So I told T this morning, I said, look, now that we got this car, we don't have to worry about it. I bought it. We're not going to worry about mileage. I'm not leasing it. So the gas is almost free because it's a hybrid. It's one of the best hybrids. I looked at this guy on YouTube. He's called the Car Nut. He's a Toyota guy. You know, he's a mechanic technician. I know some of you know him. He's actually got a second channel where he just does reviews on different cars. And, you know, you can take his word to the bank. He can take a Japanese engine apart and put it back together blindfolded. This guy is very smart. Not the guy that runs his arms all around. That's the big Toyota fan that's got millions of subscribers. I know that guy too. No, this is a technician. And he went over that hybrid the other day. He convinced me that while a lot of people that have copied Toyota to make their hybrids, Honda did not. And Honda was actually the very first manufacturer to make hybrids. And then they just got away from it, but they came back. And this 2-liter dual motor, 204 horsepower, 247 pound-feet of torque hybrid engine is the work of a genius, according to the Car Nut. And there's only one little thing that they could have done. They'll probably do it eventually. Something about some small gear that they could have added that they did last year to the CR-V to give it more of a towing ability. So even people will tow with cars, you know, like a little U-Haul or something, you know, a small, tiny boat. You can pull with cars, but not a big camper. But anyway, he really convinced me. And we all know Honda's not going to make anything anyway, like Toyota. That's not good. So we took that trip. I fell in love with the Honda. I love that gas mileage, but I did not like how my butt felt. It's too small. It's a young person's car. You got to wear it. I had a Civic Si one time, a Honda. Forgot to mention that. And it's a 6-speed. I went through that midlife crisis And I took it to North Georgia in the mountains in North Carolina up on Deals Gap called the Dragon. And I sawed off 2 sets of tires on that thing in about a year, running the Gap, the Dragon. And for any of you out there that ride bikes, you know what I'm talking about and where this place is. It was a sports car Civic, had the VTEC engine in it. But it was just a midlife crisis thing. I couldn't stand that car after a while. The bolstered Recaro seats were so tight on my rib cages, it did not let you move anywhere. I was more comfortable riding my motorcycle after 100 miles than I was in that car on a road trip. So I know now what I know, and that is I don't want any car like a Corvette or a Ferrari or anything that I gotta wear. I don't want anything small. I don't want a buckboard. I want luxury. Now, while the Accord is a mid-sized car and it's not the big Caddy and the Lincoln and the Lexus, and there's some other cars out there, did you know that the average new car price is $49,000? Every transaction in America. It's come down 3%. It's down to $48,000. That top-of-the-line Accord has a sticker price of $40,000. And it is one of the best rated cars for 50 years you can buy. And it's a hybrid that gets 44 miles per gallon. So what's there not to be interested in or look at? And so the more I watched YouTube and the more I went down and thought about it, I made that video on that one car lot and I looked at them and I learned about the different trim levels and how they kind of flip-flop in the way they're value packaging them. The more expensive model is actually a better value than the base model. It's weird. I won't go into all that, but this is really the EXL and the Touring Hybrid are your only two you should probably, in my opinion, consider if you like some bells and whistles. If you don't care about gizmos, well, unfortunately, you cannot get a hybrid in a Honda Accord unless you do get a higher trim level. They do not put it in the EX or the LX. The LX or the EX. You have to have a higher trim level. So anyway, that's another story. So I started thinking about it and I started calling and I talked to a few sales managers and I saw that some of the sales are starting to fall because everybody's switching to crossovers and SUVs. The car market, while the average price is 50 grand, roughly, they're coming down a little bit and the cars are getting more and more inventory. And people are buying, like I say, those crossovers and SUVs. So the sedans, and Camry's coming out with a really sporty looking one. They're willing to talk. They're willing to talk again since how the market was. I mean, Honda and Toyota are still pretty proud of their models. They're not like Hyundai and Ford and Chevy and all of them that are just doing what they can to sell one now. They're not as desperate as they used to be because their inventories still aren't as big as they used to be. They don't have 300 cars a lot anymore. A lot of them are sold before they get there. But you look around, how many people do you see driving a brand new car? Everybody. Everybody where I'm at, every car is new. I don't see old junkers. I don't see 10-year-old cars. I don't see too many 5-year-old cars. Every car is within a couple of 3 years old tops. People are trading these cars. I think a lot of people are leasing now. These days, that's an affordable way, but leasing I don't promote. But a lot of people do it because they want to drive a very expensive car and pay about half of what the sticker price is, and that's how it works out. But you really can't use it because you can't drive it, because if you drive it and you go over the miles, you get penalized and blah, blah, blah. So I bit the bullet. I went in, I talked, I got it, I drove it, I fell in love with it. Salesmen are the easiest people in the world to sell. And when I took one look at that light gray interior with that pearl white over that black interior, which is a lot of dealers have, this is a very desirable model in the Accord Hybrid in the Touring model. First of all, Touring models are hard to get. We're at the year-end thing right now, so it's slim pickings. And this particular light color with the light interior is, and the fact that the car is very conservative looking now, and it's more of a grown-up model, and geezers are buying them, and you got to have somewhat of a high pay grade to afford that. It's a $40,000 car. But 10 grand under, 8 grand under the average selling car today. So many cars are so much more expensive that do not bring anywhere close to the reputation, the value, the economy, the resale, or anything of a Honda Accord. So I'd like to think I made a smart decision, and having this car that I made an investment in, that I hope to have for many years, and I went ahead and got what I thought I would not get bored with, that I would have all the bells and whistles. And if I do get bored, I think as soon as I wanted to sell it and say I got a Honda and I got an Accord and I got a white one and I got light leather interior, I think I got a lot of people that are going to consider it more than a black car that's a Hyundai or a Nissan or any other brand. So I feel confident about it. And I absolutely, believe me when I tell you, got a great, great deal. For as good a deal as you can get buying a brand new car, which is really impossible because as soon as you drive them off the lot, it's the old saying. And that's true. But it is a little different currently in this climate, in the car market that we're in. But they could have sold that car yesterday or today, Saturday, if I didn't buy it, being the only one with that gray interior, for a few $1,000s more than I gave them. Easily. They do it every day. So I feel confident with that. So that's why I bought it. I'm happy I have it. I was going to go with that blue or the black, and I don't know. If you're going to make a payment, you're going to make a decision. And I'm making a payment now putting gas in that Tundra. What I'm going to be saving in gas and what I've been paying in gas annually, even though they were paid for, on that 4Runner and that Tundra, pays a darn car payment. So I'm paying it either way. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You pay me this way, or you pay Honda Motor Finance. And you don't pay the gas tank anymore. So that's why I bought it. That's why I like it. I love it. I look forward to bringing you some videos as soon as I get it in my hands and showing you all about it, doing a walk around. And I would highly promote this model or the new Accord. And like I said, I'll be showing you everything I can about it. And thank you very much, you 178,212 beautiful souls watching the channel. All your comments are greatly appreciated. The comment section was going kind of nuts. People were all over the board out there today, or yesterday, I should say, with the news and everything. And that's great. I'm glad you're interested. Keep them coming. I'll try to answer everything I can. And those that don't need an answer or shouldn't be saying what they should, they just go away. That's all. But all your other folks out there, man, thank you so much for the encouraging words and being happy for us, and congratulations and all that you've been given. I really appreciate it. I said it to most people, but some I didn't. Don't think that I didn't see your comment. I did. And it makes me feel really good. Thank you so much for being happy for other people. That's the way I like to do it. I mean, just be happy for other people. Whatever they want to do, that's their life, okay? But I would say if you have a life that you're living, like I talk about living life now, because nobody's promised tomorrow. And I think now I've got another chapter, another new way that I can go besides the RV travel, which I'm going to do again. I absolutely going to be cruising America with that Crusher and Crasher. Believe me, folks. But the fact that I can take a few road trips for free, because I say that because the gas is basically free, and I have the Hilton Properties deal, and I'm in a collaboration, and we are living our life, and we share our meals, and it's just cheap. It's just cheap, and we're doing. It's affordable. And just think, you're going to be 100 tomorrow, or 80, or 75. So while you've got today, if you're free, you're retired, you got a little bit of dollars, you get that free check coming in, your Social Security, you work your little 15, 20 hours a week, and you got them other 3-4 days a week off to go and do and play golf or take you a road trip or something, then do it. Crush it.